Eddy Gordo, the man who introduced the world to capoeira. Now, there are obviously some fighters in different fighting games who represented capoeira, but Eddy and Tekken 3 were the ones who popularized it and pushed it into the mainstream. Capoeira is a Afro-Brazilian martial art that was created by African slaves to protect themselves against their Portuguese enslavers. The way slaves managed to practice capoeira is because the Portuguese thought it was a dance. The reason why they probably thought it was a dance is because capoeiristas are always constantly moving, even when they're in idle. This step is also known as the Ginga step. You can see it in any capoeirista video as they're always constantly moving, as the philosophy is having constant motion, because you never know when you're gonna get hit by either one or two people, so you always have to be in constant movement in capoeira. Now it's time to explain Eddy's story. Eddy was part of the original newcomers that were introduced in Tekken 3. How Eddy's story starts is his father was shot, and he tells Eddy to turn himself in so he can be safe in prison. In jail, Eddy was fiending for the opportunity to find whoever shot and killed his family. In a prison riot, Eddy notices a man using capoeira and decides to be a student. And for 8 years, Eddy studies under the man. During this time, the man tells Eddy that he has a granddaughter and tells Eddy to teach her whenever he gets out. He gets released and joins the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3. Now, either during the tournament or after the tournament, he invades a home of a drug lord and interrogates him. And he eventually alleges that Kazuya Mishima was the person who called the hit on his family. Now, Eddy didn't participate in the next King of Iron Fist tournament as he disappeared. In his place was his master's granddaughter, Christy, who he taught capoeira to. Christy only joined to find Eddy while Eddy was looking for the people responsible for his parents' murder. However, they do eventually meet, but Eddy's master has to be hospitalized due to his health declining as he has an incurable disease and only has 6 months to live. Eddy and Christy decide to join the King of Iron Fist Tournament 5 to save the old man. However, they were unable to win the tournament, but Eddy went to Jin Kazama, the winner of the tournament, and begged Jin to save his master's life, and Jin agrees, but under one condition: that Eddy becomes the new leader of the Tekken Force, as the previous leader, Lars Alexanderson, decides to start a rebellion against Jin. Eddy agrees and is involved in warfare across the globe with the Mishima Zaibatsu. He later gets into a disagreement between Jin Kazama, as Jin accused Eddy of being too weak because Eddy lost 2 strategic points in the war. He later faces Lars Alexanderson and Elisa Boskonovich, and he loses to them. Despite his efforts, Eddy's master dies. Christy was visibly upset with Eddy for his disappearance, and Eddy notices that his actions had consequences, and he decides to cut ties with the Mishima Zaibatsu. He later decides to find Kazuya Mishima in the G-Corp Tower to get his revenge. However, he runs into Lucky Chloe, a fighter and idol who's under contract with G-Corp. Now, this is where I think the Tekken 7 story and the Tekken 8 story don't align, as the fight with Lucky Chloe could be non-canon, because in the Tekken 8 website it states, Eddy was defeated by Kazuya's overwhelming power. As he was on the brink of death, Yoshimitsu saves him. Afterwards, he starts training as hard as he can and decides to use capoeira to save people and not for revenge. And this is the beginning of his redemption arc. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I am happy with how Eddy turned out, except for his hair. Like, why did they give him the Killmonger cut, bro? What the fuck? But I digress. Anyways, that's all for this video. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. And if you guys do want to play Tekken sometime, you know, and you're only going to play it once, choose Eddy. Alright, he's the easiest to pick up. That's all I have to say for now. Hope you guys enjoy your day. And thank you for your support. I love y'all. And stay safe, because I care about you.